Previously on what happened to Sister Faith.
You good?
Not really. Another restructuring. They are saying some senior roles might be cut.
Yours?
Why? But it's not just that. Feels like I'm drowning at home too.
Talk to her, man. Don't let silence do the damage.
You know they are burning, right?
Just the first one. Sacrifice to the pancake gods. I miss us.
Then let's find out.
You know, we all have that one person in church. The one who's always on fire for God, always praying, always showing up. For us, that was me, Sister Faith. I inspired many, encouraged others, led with passion. But lately, something changed. I stopped coming around, stopped posting, stopped shining, and while everyone whispered, no one really asked what happened to Sis Faith. This series, it's not just about me. It's about many of us. The silent battles, the quiet questions, the faith we're sometimes afraid to talk about. Welcome to What Happened to Sister Faith, a Christian Chronicles series that will open your eyes and touch your heart. Remain blessed and do well to like, comment, and subscribe.
Culture versus biblical standards. The room buzzed with a quiet energy. A circle of about 12 young adults, laptops cracked open, phones close at hand. In the center sat Sister Faith, calm and poised, a gentle leader among them. Tonight's study topic lit their hair with tension, living the truth in a loud world. Chidi, just 20 but carrying himself like a stylish boldness, leaned forward. So, let's be real, he began, scanning the group. If someone identifies as non-binary or doesn't follow traditional gender roles, does that mean they can't be Christian? Binkbe, 19 and unafraid to speak her mind, jumped in. The Bible is clear. Male and female, God created them. Anything else, rebellion. Period. Chidi didn't flinch. But what if someone is genuinely confused? He challenged, do we just throw them out? Sister Faith raised her hand, gently, steadying the conversation. Let's slow down, she said. Truth isn't a weapon, and love isn't silence. We need both. From across the cycle, Tokbe spoke up, voice tinged with frustration. But Auntie, culture is changing fast. If we don't adapt, we'll lose the next generation. Sister Faith smiled softly, sadness hidden behind her calm. Or we might lose them if we water down truth so much that it no longer changes lives. Jesus was countercultural. Remember? Silence settled heavily over the room. Chidi shifted in his seat, voice dropping low. I don't even know where I stand anymore, he confessed. I believe in God, but I also have so many questions. Sister Faith turned to him, her gaze warm and steady. And that's okay, she said. Faith isn't the absence of lack. It's trusting God while you wrestle with them. The next afternoon, Chidi found himself nursing a glass of cold zobo on Sister Faith's couch. The air was heavy with the scent of hibiscus and uncertainty. I feel like a fraud in church, he admitted, eyes fixed on the wooden floorboards. I don't want to offend God, but I also don't want to fake who I am. Sister Faith leaned in, voice tender. You don't have to fake anything, Chidi. God already knows you. It sees the struggle and invites you closer, not further. And what if I never figure it all out? Chidi asked, voice breaking slightly. You probably won't. Not everything. Sister Faith replied, smiling knowingly. But what you can do is keep walking. Keep listening. Keep surrendering. It will guide you one step at a time. For a moment, neither spoke. Chidi blinked back tears. He hadn't realized he had gathered. I want to know God. Not just the version people post online. The real one. Sister Faith's smile widened, full of pride and hope. That's the best place to start. Later that night, in the dim solitude of his room, Chidi scrolled mindlessly through Christian influencers fighting online. God made you perfect just as you are, one blood. You either repent or perish, backed another. Exhausted, he shut the phone. Staring at his unopened Bible, he sighed and closed it without reading. If they all say different things, how do I know who's right? He whispered into the silence. A memory surfaced. It was 11 again, kneeling stiffly during morning devotion. Chidi, read Genesis chapter 1 verse 27. His father commanded. Timidly, young Chidi obeyed. So God created them male and female. Exactly, his father said firmly. There is no confusion in God. Beside them, his mother spoke gently. Let him breathe, dear. Better he breathes truth now than born later, came the stern reply. Young Chidi lowered his eyes, swallowing his questions whole. Tension buzzed in the church office. Elder James spoke first, voice heavy with suspicion. We've been hearing things that your youth sessions are getting too liberal. Sister Faith met his gaze calmly. If by liberal you mean we are letting young people be honest, then yes, I'd rather have them wrestle with the word than walk away from it silently. Elder Grace frowned. But what about standards? Truth never changed, Sister Faith answered, but how we present it must reflect the grace of Christ. You're walking a fine line, Faith. Elder James warned. She smiled slightly. So did Jesus, and he never dropped the truth or the people. Over soggy fries and half-drunk sodas, Chidi vented to Lola, a friend who had long given up on church. Church people just want you to be like them, Lola said bluntly, not like Christ. Chidi stirred his drink on. I don't know. Sister Faith is different. Find God for you, not for them, she said, eyes kind. Chidi stared into his drink, heart heavy. Chidi stood on the church stage, voice clear and trembling as he delivered the spoken word piece. They told me truth was a hammer, so I hid from it, afraid of the blow. But then I met love, who whispered truth like a friend, and suddenly I could breathe again. Warm applause broke forth from the back. Sister Faith watched with glistening eyes. In a vast, empty church filled with mannequins, Chidi stood, bound in chains. A booming voice thundered, choose, truth or confusion. Panic rose, but then, from a distance, a warm light broke through. A gentler voice called out, come to me, all who are weary. The chains loosened. Chidi gasped awake, clutching his chest, heart pounding. Red-eyed, Chidi knocked on Sister Faith's door. "My parents found my journal," he said brokenly. "They said I'm embarrassing the church." Sister Faith's face softened in pain. "I'm so sorry, Chidi. I just want to be loved," he said, voice cracking. "Not feel like a mistake." She pulled him into a quiet hug. "And you are loved, fully, deeply, unconditionally." For the first time in weeks, Chidi let himself cry. Later, Sister Faith handed him a small, worn book of Psalms. "David wrestled with everything," she said, "but he always came back to God. Even when he didn't feel holy?" Chidi asked, "Especially then." In another tense meeting, Pastor Dipo leaned forward. "Some are saying you are promoting confusion." "I'm offering a space for growth," Sister Faith replied firmly. "Culture is loud, but if we silence questions in the church, they'll find answers elsewhere. Some things are black and white," Elder Grace insisted. "And some hearts agree," Sister Faith countered. "We are not lowering God's standard, we are lifting people to meet it." Pastor Dukbo hesitated, then nodded. "We trust your heart. Just be wise." Beneath a starlit sky, Chidi shared openly before a circle of flickering faces. "Even when I'm confused," he said, voice steady, "God's not. I'm learning to walk in truth, even when it's hard." A youth spoke up shyly. "So, it's okay to question?" Sister Faith's voice rose through the night. "Yes, just don't question alone." Chidi stood before the congregation, clear-eyed and humble. "I used to think I had to choose between being real and being Christian," he said. "But God isn't intimidated by my reality. He just wants to walk with me through it." Soft applause said. Pastor Dipo nodded in approval. Sister Faith beamed quietly in the back. Now it was Chidi leading the cycle. She had labels. She had baggage. He said, Bible open on his lap. But Jesus still sat with her at the well. "But what if people judge?" someone asked. "They will," Chidi said simply. "But Jesus didn't die to make us look good. He died to make us whole." Silence fell, safe, sacred, and strong. As the sun dipped low, Chidi and Sister Faith sipped tea side by side. "I still don't have it all figured out," he admitted. "Good," she said, smiling. "That means you're still growing." Chidi glanced at her, gratitude heavy in his chest. "Thank you for walking with me. Always," Sister Faith whispered. They sat quietly as the sunset bled into the sky, hopeful, steady, open.